If it hurts, game the brakes, no get you, know let up, put on more speed. Protect our kickers, our quarterback, our lead, our ball game. All obstacles, block, cut, sides, through the games after this win in. Press you again, we're here for the first mate. Carry my team never 60 minutes.
Just look around. You got the mountains, you got the most beautiful city in the whole entire country. The university is absolutely, looks like it's out of a storybook. It's just beautiful. People are incredibly genuine and extremely nice. It's just a place that obviously I'd want my kids to go to school. And it sells itself. You don't have to sell anything about this place. You just got to get them here. You know, the old field of dreams. Yeah. Build it and they will come. It's already built.
Just go win them all, man. I say that. Our team goal in general just win the East. So we're focused on that. But, you know, we're taking it week by week, one opponent at a time, and just being the best each week, each Saturday, being the best team on the field.
In this league, there are no off days. I don't care who you're playing against. I mean, you have to bring your A game every single day. And we have to have that type of chip on our shoulder when we go in there. And we can't go in there and think we can start slow. All right? We got to start fast, we got to finish fast, and we got to keep putting more gas on. So
Wish that I was on old Rocky Top, down in the Tennessee hills. Ain't no smoky smoke on Rocky Top. Ain't no telephone bills.
Do you remember when we fell in love? I remember, don't worry. Do you remember? I remember how it all began. How could I ever forget? It's the first time. Do you remember? I can feel it. I can feel it. I can feel it coming in the air tonight. I can feel it in hands. I can feel it in each other. I can feel it coming in the air tonight.
Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley.
It's your boy X Factor here.
Dude, I say this all the time. I want to change the intro. What should I change it to? What would you say? Hello. Good evening. I can't say welcome in a normal voice. When I say welcome, I'm sitting there going, I'm going to say welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name's Boogie Bentley. And I go, welcome every time. I can't help it. I can't help myself.
Hey, stick to what you know, man. Stick to what you know.
I think it's working so far. Look, it's one of my favorite nights of the week, man. Love the fan call-in show. We're going to get you guys on here in just a minute. Let you guys talk about what you saw last night. So that's always a good time. We're going to send out the link here in just a second. How we feeling next the day after? You've had a little bit of time to sleep on it. Still fired up, excited about the win last night? 21-point win.
Oh yeah, man, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I feel you just feel you feel better, you feel more confident just a little bit. I mean, yes, of course, there's still, little hiccups here and there. Of course, we're going to get into all that, but it feels good to be on the winning side of things, man. It really does. And then you got to think we're heading into a bye week. Hopefully, everybody will get healed up, ready to go for Texas A&M. Of course, we'll get into it as well, but saw where, Brew had a successful, what I'm saying, surgery on, and like I said, my thoughts and prayers are with him and his family, because like I said, man, he was a tough one, man. He really was. He was definitely the definition of a ball for life, for real. He really gave his all for Tennessee. So I'm just glad to see that. But yeah, man, I'm excited. Like I said, feel pretty good.
Let me hit a couple of super chats real quick because Real Hank talking about Brew says, can Brew medical red shirt or is he done? He can. He does have, I don't know if he has a medical red shirt. We were talking about this today at lunch, and I'm going to get into that in just a second. But we were having this conversation of, does he have a medical red shirt? Because there was a full season where he didn't play football because he was suspended by USC. So was that considered a red shirt? Was it a medical red shirt, even though it wasn't a medical issue? But the bottom line is he still got a COVID year. So the conversation we were having is he could go one of two ways. He can go the practice squad route, or he can try to put on a really good combine and hope he gets drafted. I just don't know. Without having a full body of work for this year, it was last year enough to get him drafted. I don't know. And that type of injury, man, that was nasty. That's nasty. Does he bounce back? Does he respond? Is that a question mark for some of these NFL teams? But he does have the COVID year. I would love nothing more than to see Brew come back. Will Murley for 2. Appreciate that, brother. The 2023 Super Bowl champs, baby, GBO. I may pull that clip up. Did you see that? Spencer Rattler said that we won our Super Bowl by beating South
Yeah.
Carolina. Bro, you're 2-3. Let's pump the brakes a little there, Super Bowl.
Listen, and that's what I said. Listen, now I'll be honest. Now, last year against the Alabama game, no, that
Yes.
was our Super Bowl.
Yes, there's a
That was our
difference.
Super Bowl.
Don't compare yourself to Alabama. How dare you, Spencer Rattler? Big Orange Mountain for 5. Appreciate the super chat. Has anyone seen a GoFundMe for Brew yet? Get it started, spread it around. The fan base could raise $1 million easy. Hope his career isn't over. I'm going to talk about what we can do to help Brew coming up here in just a second. Papa J for another 5. Heal up and get ready for the Papa J.
Aggies.
Papa J. Did you go to sleep last night or did you just keep drinking? Did you just drink straight through the night into the 7 p.m. fan call and show? Says you guess you might not want to print that T-shirt. LOL GBO. I love you, Papa J. You said it, not me. Don't put that on me. Look, I want to talk a little bit about the community. Let me do this real quick. The link is out. The link is out there for Talkin VAWLS Elite. But I want to talk about this, man. We had a good day today. It was chaotic. I slept 4 hours last night. I had to get up and make the day after video, and then it was chaos of when I was going to meet up with Coach Jay. And then Dauber texted me randomly. He's like, hey, when are you coming down? It was complete chaos, but we got it done. We got together, got to hang out, got to break bread together. And I've done the same with X. We had lunch last year or during the off season. We met back for the meet and greet fan deal that we did during the off season as well. But it's, with us, X, it's like we're East Tennessee guys, right? So it's like, it's cool. It's awesome the way that this community has allowed us to build relationships and friendships. But this picture to me, like when I look at this, I think, okay, these two dudes on the left here, me and Dauber grew up in East Tennessee. Of course, we're Tennessee fans. We've known each other since elementary school, man. Like we're real life friends. And then this other cat on the right, California kid, right? California kid that falls in love with Tennessee football, but through the power of the internet. Like the internet can be a toxic place. We've seen that over the last few days here on this channel and throughout this community. It can be a toxic place, but it can also be a beautiful place where two dudes that grew up together in East Tennessee get to go hang out with a guy from California. You can see the caption there. A couple of East Tennessee boys and a kid from California brought together by their love of Tennessee football. That picture, the picture of me, you, JP, Snake, and Dauber, the pictures of us at the meet and greet. That sums up how powerful this community is, and it's friendships, man. It's family. It's family. Hashtag family.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. And that's what I'm saying. That's just the beauty of it's just the beauty of just sports in general. You know what I'm saying? Like it brings you together. Like I said, you could be like overseas somewhere, and then it's just like, oh hey, you know what I'm saying? You're a Tennessee ball fan too. Like, well, me too. Or just any kind of fan. But yeah, that's what they said, man. Like football is definitely family. So, but yeah, I mean, like I said, it's really great to see you three right there. Like I said, I wish I could have came down to see you guys. Like I said, like we were talking in the back room, I wanted to meet up with you guys, and we all get like a group picture or something together. But like I said, I mean, maybe like I said next year, because I know Coach said he'll definitely be at another game for next season. So hopefully next time we'll definitely have it planned and organized to where we can all meet up and take a picture together and, like I said, break bread like family, man. But yeah, that's really cool that, like I said, all three of y'all linked up together.
We're gonna do something. Me and X were talking about it right before we went live. We're gonna do something this off season at the very least. And I'm thinking Pigeon Forge, Gatlinburg area. Like if it's like I know Guy Fieri from the Food Network has a big restaurant down there that's kind of like the place we went to last year. It's got like games and like a Dave and Buster's type vibe. Maybe we go there. But I was laughing about it, talking to my wife about it, driving back from hanging out with Coach Jay and Mrs. Coach Jay too. Don't leave her out of the thing. The women didn't get in the picture that went up on social media, but we brought all of our wives with us. It was they had a good time. It was a lot of fun. But I was like, what happens when 200 people deep come rolling in? Like, what happens when we take over Guys Arcade and they're like, hold on a second, we don't have enough room for you guys in here. So, but we're gonna do something, man, and then it's gonna become a yearly tradition that we do the orange and white game. Hopefully, we all don't come down with strep throat and COVID and everything else. All right, let's turn this thing into a party. Get everybody on here. We got Eric in the house. We got Coach Rice in the house. We got Bob here. Joey is watering the snakes
Joey's
again.
here.
And John, who has been canceled, is here. What's up, boys?
Not much. What's going on with y'all?
Much.
What is Joey
How's it
doing?
going?
We're doing it again, Joey. Look at him. Look at him. I don't even know if he knows we're oh, yeah, he just caught us.
Yeah,
He
we're
knows.
live. I'm live. I know what's going on.
Joey, by the way, did you see, are you on Twitter or just, I know you're on Facebook. We talk on Facebook, but are you on Twitter?
Yes, I am on Twitter.
Did you see my tweet of somebody murdering a snake? Does that break your soul? Does it
Yeah,
break your spirit?
yes, it did. It hurt in my heart yesterday whenever I saw that.
At least he ate it, though, right? I mean, if you're going to kill it, at least eat it.
Yeah, if you're going to kill it, I mean, at least eat it.
Yep, I agree with that. Hey,
That's the reason why I can't go hunt. That's the reason why I can't go hunting because I don't like venison and I don't like deer meat and I don't like. So yeah, so I don't go hunting because of that.
Oh hush!
You give that away.
Eric, I don't
better not share my
recognize you.
come from last year.
Eric, is this your first time on a fan calling show?
Second time. You
Second.
were nice enough like 3 weeks ago when you had it open to regular members to let me in. And I said a few things from down here in Florida. Yeah, I'm down here in Florida.
Okay, man, so many people roll through this, and that's something we were talking about at lunch today is what a powerful community, man. Like the fact that we all get together through the love of Tennessee football. And by the way, Coach Rice, I was telling Coach Jay, I was like, yeah, he changed his name. He's owning it. And he gets giddy, man. He's like, yes, own it. If you're a coach, get in here and let people know you're a coach. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yes, sir.
Man. I love
Yes,
it.
sir.
It excites me. It excites him. Well, let's talk about it, Coach. What did you think of Squirrel White? What'd you think of Squirrel White last night?
I told y'all, man. I mean, there's something in stats that it just doesn't go wrong most of the time. It's just I'm a stats guy. I love stats, and just looking at the game plan of what I thought Tennessee would roll out, I thought they'd get Squirrel involved early, and I mean, y'all saw what happened. 4 out of the first 5 plays, he touches the ball, and led the team in receptions and yards as well. But there's a couple other things I want to mention about later. But, man, that Squirrel really made the momentum of the game get going in the right way for that Tennessee offense.
What's funny is you said what you said in the fan calling show, and then I was listening to the Hypel show, which I only got like 15 minutes into. Man, I've been home not at all today, but I tried to listen to the Hypel show, and he said, watching the tape, we thought we could expose them with the slot position, and Squirrel was targeted 9 times and had 9 catches. That's a heck of a day. That's a heck of a day.
Especially the catch he had against that PI. The PI didn't get called, but dude, that was a beautiful catch. Even to this day, I don't know how he caught that catch.
That was a miraculous catch.
It's been all over Instagram.
Oh yeah, because it's funny because I was watching that play happen, and then I was like, "Ref, throw the flag, man! Like, what you doing? That's PI." And then he saw that he caught it, and I was just like, "Oh," I said, "Okay," but yeah.
The bad thing is Squirrel had 4 or 5 steps on dude, and if Joe didn't play just that bad last night, I thought he played pretty good, but other than a couple throws, but if he reads the play a second later than what we saw last year from Hendon Hooker.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a second late,
Mm-hmm.
and that makes all the difference in the world.
He floated that ball though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would also ask if anybody else thought he locked on that receiver on that second pick, or was it the first one too much?
It
looked like
the,
he locked. Yeah.
It was the first pick.
Yeah.
South Carolina was showing cover 2, but
Yeah.
they switched to a cover 3 cloud, and that safety was just sitting there. I don't think Joe ever saw. I don't think he ever saw the safety roll over.
Didn't look like he did.
I don't think he did either.
The safety really didn't move though, did he?
Yeah, he
Well,
did.
the whole time.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he
Swatted and then
Yeah,
slid.
yeah, he eased over, and I think he was blocked by the lineman. I don't think Joe saw him because the lineman had his view blocked.
So has Dylan Sampson taken over as number 1?
Jalen Wright played pretty damn great last
Wright's
night.
the dude. Wright's
Yeah,
the
Wright.
Three-headed
Wright
monster.
is the
I don't
dude.
think he can.
And
I
it
think-
just
I think Dylan Sampson's number 2,
Yeah.
but Wright's the dude.
Yeah, right now.
Well, and it's just like what we predicted this preseason, right? Because listen, if you're gonna go on the Twitter and say, "Hey, you guys better give me a better NIL deal," because if not, like I'm gonna hit the portal, And sure enough, listen, Jalen Wright he's living up to the hype and to his standards. He's like, "Look, I'm the best running back on this team. Is this? You need to give me a bigger NIL deal," and they did that. And yeah, like he's balling out right now. But like I said, I mean, give credit where credit's due, man. I mean, he's definitely getting his money's worth.
What do you think about that from Craig with Joe? It's almost like they said, "Hey, Joe, aim for the moon and just throw it, and our receivers will wait till it comes down and go get it." That one deep ball to Squirrel was just. But look, when you're going to say, "Hey, he needs to put more air under the ball," and then he puts more air under the ball, and then you complain because he's underthrowing guys. You got to pick your poison there. You can't say both.
You can't skip it off an airplane.
Well, here's my thing. Here's my thing.
I'd rather him overthrow it than underthrow it.
During practice, turn Joe's machine up. Let him get used to handling some heat in them hands, and then let Joe throw the way Joe throws. Surely Joe can get it up as fast as he throws it.
It's the fluting. It's not going to work against the Aggies in Georgia, though.
No.
Their quarterbacks
No, but
too talented.
Yeah.
Our offense was outstanding last night. They ran a very balanced offense. 239 passing, 238 running. I mean, you can't get more balanced than that.
Yep.
The slants were great.
So we're at our best. We're about 50-50.
Crazy stat is that we talked about it on the call-in show yesterday. Tennessee's record when they run for 150 yards or more is crazy, but like it's unbelievably better than if they run for less. And then as soon as we hit 150, I'm like, they can't stop the run. Third and fourth quarter, we're going to grind it out, get this game over with. And we did. I thought we slowed the tempo down a little too much, but I mean, ground and pound. I saw we're up to number 2 in the nation now in rushing yards per game.
Yeah.
Isn't that you mentioned the tempo and slowing it down. And we talk about Joe. Joe's going to be Joe, right? And it's almost a different dynamic, like we talked about last night on the post-game show. Now it's like it's not Hendon Hooker in this offense going out and scoring 60 points, and the defense is just trying to keep you under 60. Now it's letting your defense lead this football team, and the offense just needs to go and do just enough. But you mentioned that they weren't going so fast. Time of possession. Did anybody look at the numbers on that? Did anybody pay attention?
It's almost dead even.
Dead even. Almost dead even. 30 seconds different.
Yeah.
That never happens with a Josh Allen football team.
Part of that is the Cooper effect. I think not only was us, being able to run the ball because of Cooper and Mincy being out at right tackle the whole game. Y'all saw that. He was bulldozing people. And then Ollie Lane looked great at left guard, but I think they were slowing the tempo down at times to give Cooper a breath.
He was gassed, man.
He was
so gassed. But that offensive line was so much better with him out there, though. So much.
He was so happy when the defenders got injured.
Yeah, it was so funny because you could see his belly's just going in and out, in and out. He's like, "Thank you, thank you."
I'm still in the train of thought that they need to keep that tempo picked up on the offensive side of the ball.
Oh yeah,
you could see it every time that tempo starts dropping off. Their production drops off, and He misses, quick slant throws. They don't get penetration on the line when they run plays. When they pick up that tempo, those opportunities are there because that defense isn't set. They're not ready to take it on. So they need to keep pressure with that tempo. If we'd have kept the tempo, we'd have ran that score up. I know it in my heart.
I liked it, and I was like, okay, this is good, was coming out of the locker room at halftime. And they went slow. Like, they came out going tempo, and then they slowed it way down, and they still went down the field and put it in the end zone for a touchdown, went up 31-10. But Bob, you're right. More times than not, when they slow down the tempo, they struggle.
Yeah, and that's not going to work with A&M, Alabama, Georgia. It's not going to work. If you slow down tempo with them, they're going to kill us.
Yeah.
But do you guys also worry that if we speed up the tempo, that defense gets more vulnerable because they're gassed and on the field that much more?
If you go three and out, right?
If you go three and out,
you're screwed. You're screwed.
True.
And that's why you see offensive linemen dying after every extra point. They're trying to let that defense recover. So
I'm excited to see the offensive line doing what they done last night. Finally.
Yeah, I was happy. I was happy with the offensive line. Let me hit some super chats real quick. We'll come back and talk about line play. The real Hank becomes a member. I think he's probably upgraded. I'm pretty sure Hank's been a member for a long time. Appreciate that support. Either way, you guys want to help us out, hit the join button down below. You're wondering who everybody on this panel is? Everybody on this panel is here because of this show, because of the fan call-in. Everybody. Like, I'm the only one that's an OG, like an original host of the Talkin VAWLS network. X is a host now, but he started on fan call-in shows. Everybody else is a member of the channel, pops on, hangs out. You can do the same thing if you hit the join button down below. You can give $1, $10. You can be like John and be insane and give like $35. But look at that beautiful dog. Look at that dog. So appreciate the support, Hank. He also drops a $2 super chat. Says Bob looks like he's in a jail cell. Bob, are you calling in from a jail cell?
Negative.
They don't allow
I just use a plain old block wall backdrop.
Yeah.
They don't allow you to have white lightning in prison, so Bob's not in jail.
You better let him talk a lot.
I knew it. It's within arm's reach. Bob just reaches over and takes a swig. Ryan for 10 says the Tennessee A&M game atmosphere will be better than we have ever seen. Can't wait to see it, guys. Let's go Boogie by God. Bentley. Thank you, Ryan, for the super chat. It's going to keep escalating, right? You go beat A&M, and then the stakes get higher, and then you got to go play Alabama and Kentucky. The back half of the schedule is a gauntlet. I'm going to call a complete audible here and change gears and go back to talking about community because Seth made the drive into Knoxville to come hang out with Coach Jay. How'd that go? How was your night hanging out with Mr. and Mrs. Coach Jay? I think she's the boss, and Coach just kind of does what she says.
She was 100% the boss. I planned everything around with her. I didn't even hardly talk to Coach Jay. But no, whenever I got there, we just had a hell of a time. I mean, we had a really good time. I mean, thank you very much, you guys, if they're listening in. They paid for some drinks of mine. That was very nice of them. But yeah, I mean, me and Coach had some lengthy conversations about Nico.
Be careful. Be careful. Be careful. You're gonna get that hate like I get.
It ain't necessarily gonna be the hate, man. But no, we had just such a good time. I'm glad we did. Our table was, you could see the freaking Ball Navy right behind us, man. It was awesome. Just I had a really good time.
Yeah, I saw that picture. I'd say it was an awesome picture you guys took.
Yeah.
Go, Bob.
Absolutely.
Oh no, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. Nobody else is go. You go.
Well, no, I was just saying, hey, get some pictures. But he just said he got some pictures. I didn't see them. I guess I'm not on the right Twitter to get those pics.
Are you on Twitter?
Yeah.
Well, who are you following on Twitter, Bob? Are you following Talkin VAWLS?
You're one of them. I'm following Talkin VAWLS. I'm following X. I'm following Coach J. Everybody was listed on the Talkin VAWLS I've been following, but nobody's followed me back yet. But that's okay.
I'll go. Hey, Bob, I'm gonna go follow you right now, Bob.
Yeah, I'm about to say, yeah, me too.
Bob, what's your Twitter handle? What is it?
Bob King VFL.
Bob King VFL follows you. Do you want to follow back? Boom! Now you got another follower, Bob. Hey, you got to realize my Twitter notifications are weird. Like Nelson tagged me in a tweet earlier this morning. I didn't see it till just now. I don't know what happened. Timothy McGee for 10. Appreciate the super chat, brother. Got an idea. Need to quit judging QBs with Manning or Hendon, but Milton needs to learn to throw the ball and lead the wide receiver and stop playing dodgeball or beanball. You know, this is another conversation we've had regularly on this channel, but I want to get what all you guys think about it. Is Joe Milton came in at the worst time to try to take over the starting quarterback position. Yeah. All the horrible quarterback play that we've seen, and then Hendon Hooker takes over, right? And he comes in and should have been in New York. He should have. I'm not saying he should have won it, but he should have been in New York. And then you follow that up. Okay, it's Joe's time. By the way, there's a 5-star behind you, and he's the #1 player in the country. He's getting paid $8 million. Oh, and people are calling him a generational talent. So, John, you start with that. Like, Joe got dealt a rough hand of cards.
Yeah, he did. But, you know, hey, he's getting better. You know, we were all on the Nico, got to bring him in. This last game, he did get better. Of course, he threw 2 interceptions, but, you know, it may start to be clicking for him. I hope. He just has, this season he's underthrowing. Last year he was overthrow Joe, or year before, and now he's just throwing a little under and a little behind. But yeah, he's gotten a lot of crap for it because Hendon came in and balled out, and you know it was his for the taking.
Eric, what are your thoughts on that with Joe and the timing of him being the quarterback? What if Joe followed Jarrett Garantano? Ooh. Do you think everybody would be saying we always want the backup, but you know, there's a big difference in following JG versus following Hendon, who's probably the best quarterback we've had since Dobbs, probably.
Yeah,
Manning,
Dobbs.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think he's
Dobbs, but you could, and I think he's in a no-win situation with the fan base because of Hendon and because Nico sits behind him waiting to take over. But again, freshman mistake.
Y'all have
Nico
a good night. I gotta get out of
arm.
here. I gotta get on the road.
Later, Joey. Have a good night, brother.
Be safe, Joey.
Good.
Hey, brother. Drive
I feel
careful.
like, you know, that Nico's, I mean, I think you dial back expectations if you go to Nico and you kind of, I'm not saying we mail in the season, but I feel like if we bring Nico in and bench Joe, takes a step back. This wasn't perfect last night by any means. I mean, I had a problem with Heupel and the fake punt. Why weren't we ready for that? That's Beamer's. Yeah. Beamer is notorious for special teams. His family, his father. Why aren't you ready for a fake punt? There's still coaching things that need to be fixed. But I also feel like if this team plays a perfect game, we can compete with just about anybody.
Did you feel like Georgia? Am I being a baby when I say on the fake punt that it was an illegal pick play? It was 100% a pick play. But I'm like you, Eric. I'm like, we can't complain because you should have been ready for it. Yeah. And I really don't know that you were ready for it, but that was a pick play.
100%. Well, and not just only that, wasn't it like against Pitt, like I said last season, to where they ran the same fake punt? Because last week we fell for it twice, and that's why I'm just like, guys, I'm like, why do we keep failing for fake punts? We got to pay attention to that.
And I was waiting on an onside kick, too, to start.
I mean, that was carbon copy what Beamer does. And to get blown by, I mean, that was embarrassing. I thought that was a turning point. When they didn't come out of there, that was us turning back the tide. Because that was a big Mo swing right there. That could have been a huge momentum swing.
What happened at the end of that, though? Didn't they get a stop?
Fourth down. Yeah,
they got stopped.
They bailed us out, and I felt like it boosted the offense. Because
they did it all night, too. Did it all night long.
That's when Walker tackled Leggett right before he got out of bounds on that flat play.
This defense is better than last year, and that was our Achilles heel. Our offense isn't as good as last year, but it's good enough.
Well, we also have to remember when Hendon came in, it took him 5-6 games to learn the offense.
Yeah,
so
he wasn't clicking right away.
Same thing's going to happen to Nico. He's not going to, just magically click and have everything.
Think about Nico. You don't
Coach Jay that.
No.
Oh God, don't tell Coach Jay that.
I should have just turned on the cell phone at lunch today and live streamed it and let you guys listen because we talked a lot of ball. Like we talked a lot of life and family and growing up and stuff, but we talked a lot of ball too. And we all are in agreement. Like, look, obviously Coach Jay loves Nico, and I love Nico because Coach Jay's telling me what he hears about Nico. But at the same time, we all want the same thing. We want Joe to succeed and Nico to sit under the learning tree and learn this offense, because you got to realize by the time he starts, he's going to have almost been here 2 years because he was an early enrollee. So he got those bowl practices. He got the full spring camp and then fall camp. He's going to get another spring camp and another round of bowl practices. He's gonna know this offense. If Joe
inside and out.
It's so frustrating because like you said, the defense is better this year. And it's like we talked about this as a group, as a community, all offseason. The defense is going to take a step forward, and the offense is going to take a step back. But dang it, it's frustrating because all of us keep saying last year. If we had Hendon Hooker, how deadly would this team be? That's what's frustrating.
But
crazy thing is the Russian attack's even better too. I mean, the Russian attack's better too.
Way better.
I said it about last night being dark mode and a night game, and the place blowing the roof off with a high end prospect in town. That was a perfect environment. If we don't nail that 5-star lineman, if he shows up and this class holds, Boo Carter can go to the flavor of the month. That's what I'm calling Dion.
He's staying home. Boo Carter's staying home. And Boo Carter's a big reason why Jordan Seaton was there last night.
Yes.
I think
Jordan Seaton is coming to Tennessee. And
they
he's coming
sat
to Tennessee.
together. Jordan Seaton was sitting with Boo Carter.
We are 2 years into this. By the third year, we're going to be knocking on the door for a chip. By next year, if this class holds, I've seen enough of us over the gajillion years I've been following us to be ready to compete for a national championship next year's class.
You got to hit offensive lineman, though, right? Are you not concerned about offensive lineman?
I am. I'm going to have to play
interior defensive lineman.
All right,
you got
Eric,
two big boys coming, right?
Yeah.
I got a question for you. I got a question for everybody. If we hold on and we pull off and win out, I'm not saying it's likely, but if we were to win out, if they got it where we're playing our tempo and our defense stepped up like they were last night, we win out. We could be talking Natty this year.
I don't think so.
We would be in the consideration.
You would have to win out. But is that realistic? I don't think so.
No,
I don't think it's realistic. I'm just saying if we did, we're taking out Alabama, we're taking out the national defending champion Georgia, and if Georgia's undefeated when we face them and we take them out, that's going to put us in the talk.
I'm just saying. I don't think we're ready.
It's possible. Not probable, but it's possible.
Right, it is.
The whole SEC is up for grabs. I don't think anybody's really playing elite. Nobody's really playing.
That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah, and and of course that's why Boogie was saying it's so frustrating because, like what Seth just said, the SEC is down this year. Just imagine if Hendon came back. I'm saying Natty.
But Boogie, to your point as well, if this train keeps rolling the way it is, you're going to flip a couple recruits that may have already committed.
Yes.
You're going to flip some recruits to Tennessee. Heupel's going to be the most talked about guy. Forget Dion. If this team rolls and we get by Georgia, even if we drop one more and we're 10-2, next year's class will be a top 5 class. You can write it down.
I'm with you 100%. But
if that happens, you better watch out because I'm telling you, our home stadium is like no other. We know that.
But I don't think that's 2024. I think that's a 2025, 2026. Not because
I would not be surprised to see
the only thing I'm worried about, Eric, is the offensive line and the interior defensive line because the offensive line, this staff has killed it. The 24 offensive line, if you add Jordan Seaton, that's an A+. That's an A+++++.
That might be the best line recruiting inbound in the nation.
In a long time for Tennessee, too. When's the last time Tennessee nailed offensive line recruiting?
McCray and his sidekick, the 2 tackles that came out of Tennessee, went to the NFL.
Yeah,
it's been a long... Charles McCray and who else?
Oh, no, that class that had
Antone Davis and McCray from back in the 90s.
Antone Davis.
I've got a real sneaky suspicion Seaton will be committing to Tennessee after what I saw. After Boo Carty going out there. Oh yeah, because Boo went out there to Colorado just to grab Seaton and say, "Hey, come over and check Tennessee out."
Did you hear what he said?
I guarantee that's what he done.
What Boo
said?
After
on Instagram, he said, "After this environment, Seaton, it's going to be hard for any school to match this."
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go.
And that's what like we've talked about with covering recruiting. Like you guys know, Coach Jay's my right-hand man for recruiting. Every time we did a recruiting live stream or video or whatever the case may be, we're going through everything and all the quotes, and they're like, I was there for the Florida game. I was there for the Alabama game. What an electric environment. And now you're giving Tennessee the opportunity to land you. I'm telling you, and I'm with you, Eric, that they go win, and I said 9. I think if they win 9 games this year, you're going to hold on to a solid recruiting class, but I'm looking more – maybe 25. Nico's second year as a starter. Your offensive linemen are coming on and developing. You've had 2 years to land the portal. But, hey, you got a generational talent at quarterback. You never – like, I think this offense alone protects the offensive line, right? I think they're going very conservative right now, but just in general, even when they're not conservative, they still protect the offensive line. So that's the one position group that I think if you do miss on, maybe we'll be all right. And then the other one, interior defensive lineman, there's an old cat down there named Rodney Garner that I trust to do just fine with the defensive line. Let me hit some super chats. Great conversation tonight. I love the conversation, but let me jam some super chats. Austin Bailey for 2 says, I'm so glad we beat South Carolina the last year of the SEC East. The Real Hank for another 5 says, don't feel good about going to Bama, but I'll take our chances against anyone in the country in Neyland. Just name them. Our fans and players will get up. Okay, we'll come back to that. Tristan Malone becomes a member of the channel. Appreciate that support, brother. You guys want to do the same? Hit the join button down below. You can donate $1. I'm asking everybody watching right now, 300 people watching, commit to giving that $1 every month. I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you to Tristan for that. Dirty Dodge for 2. How in the hell do we beat them and fall in the rankings? I saw that, but look, you take care of business. Rankings don't matter. They don't matter. You take care of business, you'll be right where you need to be. Timothy McGee for 5. I don't know if you talked about this, but what happened with Slaughter? Dude. Anybody else want to take this? I'm going to just pretend.
There's something going on there.
There's something going on.
There's something that we're not being told. Something we're not being told. Now, I'll bring up one other thing. Y'all were talking about the offensive line before I lose my train of thought. How many people think that because of his not being able to play the first four games, thinks Cooper's going to go ahead and make it another year? Because he's got one more year of eligibility.
So I think, Boogie, you had brought it up that you had heard he didn't necessarily want to come back for another year. But this brings up a really interesting point or theory. If you land a couple of these big lineman recruits, why not come back for a natty opportunity? I mean, he is the difference maker by anchoring the line and calling the blocking assignments. He is amazing.
And he's lost 4 games of tape for the draft. That could hurt him, and he may be thinking about that. So he may come back next year just to get that tape.
What AP put
And if he's got Seaton beside him, and then these other offensive linemen coming in beside him, and we have a hell of an offensive line. Got to make him look even better, and his stock will go up in the draft.
You got to think, though, most of those offensive linemen aren't going to start as true freshmen. Seaton could possibly start as a freshman. The others, I don't see it. But the thing about Cooper that and this is from Austin Price. This isn't from me. I was relaying his information, and he's close to the Mays family, all of them. To Cade, Cooper, the mom and dad, everybody. AP's close to him, and he said he was so close with everybody off of last year's offensive line, like Darnell Wright and the guys that are no longer there. And it's that he doesn't necessarily want to come back because he's not that close to anybody on the team. And I'm like, that's not a red flag, because I think Cooper is still the anchor, but man, like, you got to be tight with your boy. Like, imagine if the guys that live stream the post game, imagine if me and X and Dauber and Coach J and JP, imagine if we didn't like each other. Right. That makes it real hard to get on here and put a post-game show on. Like, if you're not friends with anybody on the team, that's not a good thing. Who left? Who got offended and left?
Seth.
Eric. No, Eric's still here. Who? Oh, Seth left.
Seth.
All right. Anyway.
I think Sprague's comes back another year. He's got another year eligible, and I think, Mincy, I don't think he'll go to the draft. I know he's got one more year, and of course, Campbell's gone after this year, but I think we got 3 of at least our 5 starting linemen coming back next year. And, Andres Carrick has but I just don't think he's the answer going forward.
No, I know he was banged up, but even if he wasn't, you kind of wonder if they were going to play Ollie Lane there anyway. So Spraggins is a senior. So does he have the COVID year?
Yeah, he still has the COVID year.
Interesting, because I'm going to be so happy when that's gone, so I can keep track of who's coming back and who's not.
Yeah, it's
what
confusing.
about What about JJ Crawford? Does he have a COVID year too?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
he still does too. Mm-hmm.
That Eric. Now I'm starting to say, maybe 24. If JJ Crawford comes back, if Crawford comes back with a COVID year, if Spraggins comes back with a COVID year, and Cooper Mays comes back with a COVID year, all of a sudden, 2024, and maybe that's something Josh Heupel uses, right? Talking to those guys, hey,
It's
we're
little
going to do something special.
subtle ways he doesn't say things, and you go home and think about it and make your decision. It's like it's passive aggressive. Like he doesn't push people on the recruiting end to make decisions, and he's really laid back. But his magic kind of works. I mean, the secret sauce, I think, is just that. He's laid back. He talks, family. He makes everybody feel comfortable. But he puts just enough in that secret sauce for people to realize he knows what he's doing. He really has his hands on this team, and he knows exactly what we have to do each game to get better and keep the progress of the train moving forward.
Is this real? Campbell's already announced he's coming back. Now you're returning almost everybody.
Oh, no, he's asking that as a question. He's asking that as a question. He's got a question mark at the end.
I don't think Campbell's got another year.
I don't think he does either.
I don't think he does. I think he's.
Somebody looked at.
This
He
is
can have the
his
COVID year,
sixth
wouldn't he?
year. This is his sixth year.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Is it?
Is it his sixth year? I'm pulling up his
I'm
bio
pretty sure
now.
it is.
So, yeah.
Hey, look, we got this thing called Google. I can go John Campbell Jr. stats. It'll give me all of his years. Oh, my gosh, that's Miami's page. Why is it that the fat offensive linemen get no love? They get no love. I can't get. If it's Nico or it's Joe or it's a running back, I get a layup.
Yeah.
All I see is he's a senior. I can't see the year by year. Let's
Yeah,
see.
it just says he's a
Go to UT
redshirt
Sports.
senior.
He was he's a redshirt senior, so it would have to be a COVID year. He's 23 years old, class of, where's the class? I can't even find the class. This is great content. This is what we're here for. But I really want to know if Campbell can come back, dude. That's huge. That's huge. Let's see.
Yeah. He can push somebody else into a tunnel.
Yeah. Okay. Here we go. 2020 at Miami says he was a sophomore. Where was he at before that? Junior college?
Maybe.
This is not working out the way I wanted it to. This is horrible content. Said he was a sophomore in 2020, but he says he's a sophomore again in 2000. Okay, this is what this website says. Sportsreference.com says he was a sophomore in 2020. He was a sophomore in 2021, and then he was a senior in 2022. Like, what does that even mean? Oh, my gosh. Coach is doing that Dauber internet.
Yes.
University of Tennessee Athletics.
University of Tennessee Athletics.
Yeah, it has 1 year of eligibility as a 6-year redshirt senior.
But that's going into this year.
Going into this year, yeah. So he has no eligibility left.
He's done.
No.
He's like Joe. If you're a 6-year senior and you're 37 years old and got 14 kids, you're out of eligibility.
Yeah,
It
I pulled
makes
the
it so hard to
Dauber
keep
right there
up with,
for you.
man.
Yeah, it would have been nice.
Yeah, it would have been.
But, I mean, at that point, you switch Mincy back over to left tackle where he's just evidently in love with.
Yep,
and you
that's
put
where he wants to
Crawford
be.
at right tackle.
Yep.
And there's your starting five. Well, besides left guard. Someone's going to have to step up at left guard next year. Like I said, I just don't see his numbers every week. That's even if he would have been healthy, I don't think Carrick's would have even played. I mean, him and Crawford's numbers so far this year, especially to the PFF, and I know those are skewed a little bit, but they're just it's down. And, last year Crawford was supposed to be a great pass blocking tackle. Those numbers are even down this year. So I just don't see maybe Crawford being back in the fold next year, but I don't think Carrick's is the answer at left guard.
Ollie Lane graded out yesterday at, hold on, I got it pulled up here. Yesterday, Ollie Lane graded out at 51.7. There was one week that Andres Carrick graded out like 40-something. It was
Yeah, I remember week 4. It's Florida game.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah. It was.
Hey, Boogie, you got any eligibility left?
I got all kinds of eligibility left, but guess what? I don't want to go to school because I'm dumb. I'm real dumb, and I don't like doing schoolwork.
I'm sure Coach Hype can take care of that.
Pretty sure they don't do a lot of schoolwork.
What position am I going to play? Because I weigh what a defensive lineman should weigh, and I run
Center.
like I don't
long snapper.
I run like a center. I run like a center, but I'm not big enough to be a center.
Oh,
There's
my
nowhere
God.
I would fit in on the football field. Like nowhere.
You're a long snapper, Boogie. Come on
Maybe
now.
a holder. I could hold. I could hold.
Oh, there you go.
And you,
But if you kick my
you
finger,
could help on the
I'm gonna
extra
be
points.
pissed.
You could lay down hurt to
I
get
can
our,
do that.
get our team a break.
You know, I can just put my helmet on somebody's hip and sit there and let somebody hit me and then lay down. I can do that. Where's
How
our
many
special
times can
teams
he-
coach? He's not in here
Yeah.
today.
How many
he's
times
not
have we had
in
an
here.
injury on special
he's
teams?
not.
Yeah, that's what
Hey,
I'm
that's
gonna do.
playing.
Every
That's
single
playing.
field goal kick.
It's so funny because it's
That's
like
so playing.
that's exactly what they're doing. Let me get this super chat from Shane C. Drops a 20 spot. You guys know the deal. That's an Orange Boy. Got a ton of Orange Boys last night. Very appreciative for you guys. We'll play the clip.
Rocky Top!
Shane C. says Dorothy and had to drop for the post game for an early tea time. I watched it on the back end. Appreciate that, Shane. Thank you for the
Did
super
not
chat.
hear the clip.
You didn't hear it?
Nope.
That's because you're in a prison cell, Bob, and they don't let me play in prison cell.
I'm out in the garage, dude.
Put another quarter in.
Put another quarter in, yeah. They're like, excuse me, Mr. King, your time's up. Why don't you make
You like to
the
kick me
prison
off?
guards? The prison guards need to become members too. They need to pay for their membership, their
There you
channel
go.
membership as well. Thank you, Shane C, for the super chat. Appreciate that. I want to talk about this. I want to go back to Brew because obviously we all love Brew. This fan base loves Brew. And somebody asked me today. They said, Boogie, why don't you do a benefit stream for Brew's charity? I'm not doing that. I'm not going to do a charity stream for him. But what you guys can do is go to the Volunteer Club. And I know I'm an affiliate, and if you hit the link in the description and you contribute to NIL, they kick a little money my way. But you can also go to their shop. You can go to the Volunteer Club or go to spiresports.com, hit join the Volunteer Club, and then click shop. And you can go in here and check all the merchandise that they have. And if you buy a Brew McCoy signed dark mode mini helmet, you can see I've got the mini helmets right beside me. You buy that for $125. Guess what? Brew McCoy is getting a cut of that. You can go on down. He's got also, let's see, white. You got the home helmet there. $100 for that one. What else does he have? I think he's got some other merchandise here. There's a Brew McCoy autographed 8x10 for $40. So you could spend the $40 there. There's merchandise at Spire Sports Group, and I hate plugging their merch because y'all will go buy it instead of my merch. But there's also, look, there's Coach Heupel mini helmet signed. But I like this. This is my favorite shirt. I'm going to plug it just because I love it so much, and I need to go buy it. I've not bought it yet. Why does my internet not work? Why is everything a living hell? There it goes. This shirt right here. How great is this freaking T-shirt? Have you guys seen this one? The goat shirt, number 16 with just a goat head.
That's cool.
That's a great shirt.
That's dope.
That's a great shirt. But again, you want to support Brew McCoy? Go pick up his merchandise through Spire Sports Group, and he's going to get a kickback from that. Hank says you were going to go back to my super chat. Was that the one about Brew McCoy?
Alabama.
Yeah.
What did he say about Alabama? Oh, yeah. We'll talk about that, Hank. We'll talk about Alabama and Georgia coming up in just a second. I just want to say the link is out for everybody. Talkin VAWLS Gold and higher. Talkin VAWLS Gold and higher. You want to come on the show, you've now got the link. Alabama, Georgia. Last year, you beat Alabama at home. You go on the road against Georgia. You get beat. You struggle. You kind of flip that this year. Like last night was hostile, right? Hostile environment. Neyland Stadium was electric. What do you think it's going to be like down in Alabama when we go on the road to play them? It's going to be hostile. But then you flip you flip the script. Do you think Tennessee's set up to beat Georgia more than they are Alabama this year? Yeah.
Yes.
I do. Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if I agree with that.
I mean, it's something that we kind of predicted in the preseason is that, listen, if Alabama's going to have their revenge against us, okay, it is what it is. Not saying that I want to go down there and lose, at least go down and put up a fighting chance, but, that crowd's going to be hostile. And like I said, they got that game circled on their calendar just like we did with South Carolina last night. So, I mean, it is what it is with that game, but hopefully we'll come out with a dub, but I highly doubt it. But with Georgia, though, yeah, Georgia's looking pretty vulnerable. Like there's a little nicks here and there that I think we could definitely take advantage of.
Yeah,
Auburn
but to
showed
beat
something.
but to beat Georgia, we're gonna have to hold on to it the whole game. We can't play the first half and then go to sleep in the second.
And most importantly, the third quarter. For some odd reason, we drop off in the third quarter. It's like this team struggles during the third quarter, and I'm just like, guys, you got to be a third quarter team. You have to be, because if you don't, that's we're going to end up losing to Georgia.
Well, Auburn showed something yesterday that I find very interesting. They ran the ball on them. Like they ran the ball. I mean, it was running backs, quarterbacks, and that's something that I'm hoping Milton gets that leg healthy and they
Yeah.
kind of trust Milton in that. Because if there's a game that you let
And
Milton
Georgia,
just you let Milton do his thing and play all out, unleash the whole script. That's the game you got to do it because
yeah, and
I mean
Georgia
that
struggled
might
with
be,
it.
yeah, that might be the time where Georgia Tennessee has the chance to, if we win out the rest of the year, like I can't remember who said that, but we have that chance at the SEC getting into the SEC championship.
That's what's so frustrating about the loss to Florida, because Florida
Yeah.
sucks. That's
Yeah.
what's so
They
frustrating.
awful.
Because
Yeah,
if you would
Kentucky.
beat Florida and you go lose to Alabama but beat Georgia, the East is yours. You've still
Yeah.
got a
Yeah.
shot to win the East. And look,
Yeah.
don't sleep on who left. Did we say something to offend John? Like, did John get offended because I said that you go beat Georgia and he just couldn't handle it? He got so excited. He just got so excited. He said, I'll drop to let other people on. He got so excited. He's like, we're beating Georgia. He's going to celebrate right now. Going to celebrate. But, man, if you had beat Florida, and look, if right now you told me, hey, Boogie, life savings, you got to pick. Is Tennessee going to beat Alabama or Georgia? No, I'm taking Georgia and Alabama both. That's just where I'm at.
Mhm.
That's why I said
Yeah.
9-3. Kentucky ain't a gimme. We saw them be physical and run the football yesterday. That's
Yeah.
not a gimme, but we're Kentucky's daddy for a
Yeah,
reason.
that's like Ray Davis. I said that brother balled out. So like, so we
Yeah,
just
And
dude,
did you hear
he
his
was balling.
post game interview?
Mm-mm.
I almost fell in love with the kid.
Yeah.
Like they were trying to bait him into saying he had a good game, and he's like, nope. It's all about those offensive linemen. They open the holes all day long, and they're like, "Well, what about you? You broke so many tackles. You did." He's like, "No, it wasn't me. It was my offense." He would not say he had a good game, and I'm like,
Right.
I hate Kentucky. I kind of like this kid.
Yeah.
I mean,
Very humble.
He took the Hendon Hooker playbook and ran with it because Hendon Hooker never took any credit. He was always putting on his linemen and on his receivers, on his running
Yep.
backs. He never tried to take credit.
They remain humbled, and like I said, and I love kids that remain humbled, and like I said, that they put their brothers, their teammates above them and stuff. After when they had a monster performance, I love stuff like that, man. I really do.
And it makes them want to work that much harder for you, to open up those holes for you, to protect you so you can make those plays.
It's
Mhm.
the definition of a leader, right? If things go well, you praise everybody else. If things go bad, you take the blame.
You take the blame.
That's what a leader does,
blame.
man. You take the bullets for the team and let
Yep.
the team be the superstars. That's how you lead. Like you said, Bob, it makes everybody around you want to be better.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah, but that cat though, like I said, when we play Kentucky, we're gonna have to really keep a close eye on him because like I
Gotta
said,
tackle.
he's
Gotta tackle.
dangerous. Yeah, he's dangerous.
I am going to do everything in my power to be at that game because I'm right down the road.
I was gonna say I forgot. We were talking about you today, Bob, at lunch. How about that? We were talking about you and because the beauty of the community, right? Like we were talking about, like Coach was saying. The reason I love and look, there's been a lot of drama this week, and I told Coach, I said, if you stab me in the back, if you turn on me, I said, it's going to kill me. I said, I hope you know that. He's like, brother, he's like, I'm here for the community. Like, he's like, I'm out in California. There's not a lot of Tennessee fans. And we were talking about you and and I forgot where you were at. And I was like, that's the beautiful thing about this. Bob openly said on a fan call, and like, you guys are my family.
This is my
talking
community.
Tennessee. It's beautiful. That's the power.
That's it.
The internet is horrible and amazing at the same time. Like, it's a beautiful thing that the five of us would have never crossed paths ever in life, but we can
Right.
come on here and talk Tennessee football. But where are
Right.
you at? I forgot, Bob.
I'm actually in Breckenridge County. I'm about an hour west. I'm about an hour west of Louisville, about halfway between Louisville and Evansville, Indiana, or Owensboro, Kentucky.
Cool.
So you're in Kentucky?
I'm in Kentucky, about halfway between Louisville and Owensboro.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah,
Voice
he's
for
in a
Radio
bunker.
too.
Now you know why he's in a concrete bunker, Boogie.
Yeah, I would be too.
Yeah,
I'm
he's
in the
enemy
garage.
territory.
Appreciate that super chat, Voice for Radio. Nothing to say, just a tip in the tip jar. We appreciate it. Eh, Come on, Zach. Gotta get. Everybody
Hey,
on this
well-
channel has something they say.
That's 'cause I was getting ready to- hold
we're
on,
trying to
I-
have lunch with Dauber, and he's going, let me throw this out there. I'm like, Dauber, we're having lunch, bro. This isn't Talkin VAWLS. You don't have to say, let me throw this out there.
Because I was getting ready to say on that comment book, because, yeah, listen, when Dob gets on, every time when Heats talks and gives his spiel, he goes like, oh, man,
Or he says,
tell
"Let
you
me throw this out there." That's his big one.
Yeah.
Nobody ever
yeah.
comes at me. Do you know how many times in a stream or a video I go, that's when I say that, I'm processing information. We all got them. Hey, that's what happens when you're see, I just did it just now. Just now did it. What's Bob doing?
Look right there.
Talking
How many
about-
memberships do I have? That's the only channel membership I have. And I won't ever have.
That's family. That's family, Bob.
There you go.
That's family.
There you go.
I've said it before and I'll say it again. There's nobody else I'll pay to watch or be a part of.
Well, I'm glad to have you as part of the team, man. I enjoy having you on. I missed you yesterday. Why did you not come on the tailgate show?
I was stuck working.
Oh.
And then I looked down and I couldn't be on it because my debit card, for some reason, somebody tried to pull a fraudulent expense on it. So they canceled my card. So I got to wait for a new card to come in. So I had to shuffle money around to be able to get on here today.
Well, hey, I've got you on Twitter now. So if that happens, shoot me a DM and I'll send you the link. Did you hear me again? I said again. I said
Yeah.
Now they're gonna eat me alive in the chat because they're gonna realize that's my thing.
And I
Speaking
know
of which,
it's
Boogie,
down below,
don't
brother,
you-
down below.
Do not change your opening.
It's awesome.
The welcome to
Do not change that opening. Welcome. I got to have it.
It's so funny. Like, this is what we do. We're not even talking about football. It feels like an NCAA night. My daughter, my youngest daughter, makes fun of me because anytime we go through a fast food restaurant, like she says, "Can I have or let me?" And I say, "Anita, I need So if I'm ordering a coffee, I need a large coffee, and I'm like, just go in and say the name Anita. I say, Anita, large coffee. She roasts me now every time we order. Anyways, let's get back to football. What do you guys want to talk about? We're an hour into this thing. The link is out for Talkin VAWLS Gold. If you want to come on, you can come on. If not, we'll wrap this thing up here in just a few minutes. What else do you guys want to talk about? South Carolina, Texas A&M. The floor is yours, boys.
Well, I mean, the
You
big.
said
I think,
too. You said
Yeah,
too.
I mean, well,
Hey,
that
make a
you
t-shirt
know,
that says and
yeah.
Talkin
Just a big
VAWLS on
Talking
it.
VAWLS microphone and just
and
need a caricature of Boogie too. Who can draw?
Hey,
Yes.
I've got one. It's right there. Boom.
There you go.
Yes. Coming out of the bubbles.
That's the next shirt.
Yeah,
Go,
that and
Coach, go.
that and you know is my two middle words. So my thing I would like to talk about is getting our guys back from injury over the bye week, getting some depth through the bye week, to extend through the rest of the season. Because it's showing that we got to have some depth to finish out this season. Because like Brew McCoy, prayers with him. We don't know if that will happen to any more of our guys this season. So
Right.
we got to have some depth to finish out the year, especially if we want to finish out the year like we want to. So the thing is, who all got hurt last night? We know Brew got hurt. He was a major one. Omar Norman Law.
Yeah.
I think that was just concussion.
That's what I thought too. That's what I thought.
I
too.
think.
Yeah,
I think
he'll be back
the
for
bye
8 a.m.
week- Yeah, I think the bye week helps with that. I don't know if it was mild or severe concussion. I don't know about all
His
that.
bell
but-
was rung for sure.
Yeah.
And then, can we please figure out what is the deal with Danico Slaughter? I don't know if it's something that is more than the toe, or it's just something that they're hiding. But we need Danico Slaughter. He is the most physical corner on that team. Although Gabe Judy Lolly, I thought played pretty damn good last night.
Wesley Walker
And-
played good from the start. From the star
from
position.
safety, yeah,
Or safety, yeah, not star safety.
yeah. And then to Marion McDonald, there's just a couple plays, and he missed a lot of fall count, but we're 5 games in. I know he's got one more year of eligibility. I'd like to see Brandon Turner there, man. I just don't think they give him. I know practice. He's not a good practice guy. That's what I've heard, at least. I think Brandon Turridge is the best option at star. I know. I saw Jordan Thomas get some run there last night as well.
I go back to when Theo Jackson was there, right? The first year under Heupel. Theo Jackson gets hurt. You put Turnage in at star, and he's the SEC Defensive Player of the year or the week. And I'm like, okay, this dude's going to be a dog. He's going to take over for Theo next year. And then it's like, I don't know if he got in the doghouse. I don't know if it's off the field stuff. I don't know if it's like you said, maybe he's not a good practice player. Something's going on with Turnage that's keeping him off the field.
I don't know. It just makes no sense. Tamarian McDonald just does not impress me in the open field, and that's what the star position is there for, is to tackle these guys in the open space, these slot receivers and these running backs in the open space. And if you ain't got someone that can go out there and tackle those guys, well, what's he out there for?
Yeah, and McDonald's, he's made a few good plays, like a little bit this year and especially last year. But yeah, it's just I think he's just a little inconsistent sometimes.
Was he the one that the ball went right through his hands?
Yes.
And I'm like, how did this even happen? How was that a completion?
Yes, right through his hands.
Joe, I don't know why you're mad, Joe. Joe, you're a member of the channel. Like, you're a big part of this community. I don't know why you're upset that we're just talking Tennessee football like we always do. Like we're happy. Everybody's happy that Tennessee won. We're just talking about things that went good, things that went bad. I don't know why you're upset. Nobody's pretending to know more than anybody else. We're just talking ball. That's what we always do every single week on this channel. That's it. That's what we do. We talk Tennessee football. There was something else you said, and now I've completely lost my train of thought. But let me
the injuries.
The Real Hank for 2 says, Bob's about like me. I'm from Baskin, Louisiana, town of 211. Well, I love it, man. I love it. You know, like, what I really do take pride in is, like, anybody that watched The Walking Dead, if you watched it in its heyday when it was actually good, and then they had Talking Dead right after, and it's like when a great episode would go off, you're like, man, I want to talk to somebody about this. And then Talking Dead's like a bunch of fans basically sitting around talking about it. It's like, man, this is what Talkin VAWLS needs to be. It's like you get to talk about the game as soon as it's over. That's
now we got the spinoff shows like Daryl and Negan and Maggie and all that.
Have they not gone too far? Like,
yes,
which I didn't even finish the series. It got so stale.
Now me and my girlfriend did, because like I said, she was not big into zombie shows and all that. And then I was just like, as a babe, I was like, you gotta watch this. So we started from the beginning. Then we finished it towards the end, and then like now we're on the spinoff shows, and they're actually not bad.
Really?
I think they're trying to pull that audience back in. Yeah, but
did you read the comics?
I know, but my best friend, like, he told me about the comics, and I kind of skimmed over them just a little bit. So, but my biggest thing is, and spoiler alert for who people hasn't watched the show.
We're about to bury the chat.
Well, it's when Glenn dies. It's like, look. That was in the comic. That was written in the comic. So I expected that to happen. So
what pisses me off is the stories about Rick and Carl. So if Rick and Carl are gone, you got nothing. And you shouldn't have killed. I'm about to spoil the entire, 200 issues of comic books. Everybody's like, why are we talking about comic books? At the end of the comic series, Carl puts a gun to Rick's head and shoots him because he's a zombie. That's a moment, and you didn't give me that moment. The chat, everybody's left. They're like, okay, going to bed. Y'all have a good night. Let's get back to football. Eric, what else you want to talk about on this Tennessee-South Carolina game or the schedule moving forward? And we'll wrap this thing up here in just a little bit. But
I think, at the beginning I said 8-4 would have been a good season, and I would feel like we took maybe a half step back after last season. I feel like 9-3 is very possible right now. And then you can't even argue we took a step back. That's one more loss. And it probably was Florida without Cooper Mays. I think we all realize now how much he means to this team and this offensive line. You see how ridiculously inept Florida is after yesterday. Now, Kentucky's not a bad football team at all. So Florida losing to them wasn't a surprise to me. How they lost to them was a surprise to me. And it just proves that how unprepared, ill-prepared, how horrible we looked against them, because they're not good at all. They're not a good football team. But with Cooper back, I think Bama is not a likelihood, but it's a possibility. I don't think we'll play as poorly on the road moving forward as we did against Florida. I think with some of your more seasoned guys like Cooper leading the offensive line, we're not gonna be embarrassed like that the rest of the season. I don't think so anyway.
Yeah, it's like what I was saying. At least put up a fighting chance. I understand Bama's going to be very, very, very hostile. I feel like that Bama game is going to be just like the Georgia game it was last season. But that's just the thing, right? Like, this team has to find a way to click and keep that offense tempo going, even in a hostile environment. You know what I'm saying? So you just got to find a way.
I think with Cooper Mays out front, that's going to be a little easier because he's the one he's the rock that keeps that offensive line solid.
Bob, did you catch last night when the announcers are saying that your line coach basically says there are times when Cooper comes up with assignments that he's not even thinking of, and he makes directions and suggestions that the coaching staff hasn't even thought of?
Cooper has
Yeah,
free
he's
reign of that
amazing.
offensive line.
He does.
If he's on the line, if he tells you move over 3 inches, you're going to move over 3 inches. There's no qualms, no arguments. If he says move the other side, you're going to move the other side. That's what you do. You listen to Cooper Mays. He's got that
Keep him
line.
healthy. I don't think Bama can out scheme you on the defensive front because he's seen it all, done it all. And if they can't out scheme
And
you,
here's the
that's a
thing.
straight up trench fight.
If we win the rest of our SEC games, even if we drop to Alabama, as long as we beat Georgia, then we control our own destiny because Florida is definitely going to lose another SEC game.
Oh yeah,
They got LSU coming up. They got A&M coming up. They've got Arkansas coming up. They can't handle them all.
And
they are going to drop another SEC game.
And it's actually funny, not to jump ahead of next year or anything, but it's funny. Josh Bray, he put a video out on Twitter, and he looked at their schedule for next year. I said that schedule's looking pretty brutal for Florida. But I mean, just for all the other teams, you know what I'm saying? I even looked at our schedule for 24, and I'm just like, that's a little hefty schedule. But with Nico, and like I said, if we go into the portal and we get some offensive linemen, like real true SEC offensive linemen, and some of our guys coming back, I think we'll be okay.
Let me hit a couple of super chats here real quick. Real Hank for 2 says Cameron wants to know if Colorado beats UT. Who's Cameron?
I don't know, but we dust them.
I think
Colorado wouldn't have a snowball chance in hell.
Yeah, I do too.
We put up 300 rushing yards on them.
But I have no idea.
They can't stop the run.
I don't ever know what's going on this channel, ever. I never know what's going on. John Mills for 5. Appreciate the super chat, brother. I'm in North Carolina. One UT guy in my neighborhood, and he's in AWS. You guys are my buddies. I love it, man. I love the fact that we've built this amazing community, and you guys enjoy it. I enjoy it. I love the fan calling shows. I love NCAA night. Late night Talkin VAWLS. There's nothing like it. Come hang out on Tuesday night. Should be a lot of fun. This week, we'll go live at 6:30 on Tuesday. Tomorrow morning, starting at 9 a.m., Eric Kane will be in the house. Going to hang out with him for about 30 minutes. And then I think what I'm going to do is I'm gonna hang out with Kaner, and then I'm gonna hang out with you guys. And you guys were so generous last Monday. I said, I don't have a co-host. Y'all dropped super chats the entire morning, and I just read your super chats, and whatever you had to say, I would respond, and we would roll with whatever topic you guys came up with. But I'm also gonna have Josh Heupel's press conference from the post-game show ready to go. We'll jump into that as well. The Real Hank for 2 says he's my wife's 13-year-old cousin. We are adopting. Oh, well, tell Cameron hello, and that Dion and Colorado have no chance. No chance at all. And actually, if he thinks they do, ground him. And that's on me. That's my advice to you. Ground him for 2 weeks and make him only watch the 98 national championship game on repeat until he falls asleep every night.
No, the whole season. The whole season. The whole 98 season.
Bob's going to prison torture people. He's right.
Clint Sterner, my hero.
Oh, man, oh, man. Hey, let's wrap this thing up. It's been a fun show. Always appreciate you guys coming on. Tried to drop the link out to the Talkin VAWLS Gold. They didn't want to come on, so, hey, that's all good. But it's always a good time talking with you guys. Always appreciate the X Factor being the wingman. Eric, you add a lot to this community. I appreciate you coming on. Coach Rice, I'm glad you're finally owning it. Coach Jay, Coach Rice, we just got to get that special teams coach to change his. I don't even remember who it was. Do y'all remember who it was?
I don't.
Elijah, maybe? Was it a lot?
I can't remember, but I can go back to this. I can go back to the show and watch it and find out.
I do not remember who it was. It wasn't Elijah's the musician. Speaking of, I got to remember. He sent me some.
Is he a musician?
Yeah.
The kid, can he play guitar or can he sing?
Oh yeah, he's. Let me.
I can't remember who that was.
Being serious, I'm telling you this, guys. I already got a parody song. It's spot on, and it wrote itself. And if you can find somebody I'm telling you, this fan base will go ballistic for this parody song. If you know Neil Diamond, you know the song America, right?
Oh,
From
yeah.
back in the day?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Title of my song is We're Coming to Embarrass Ya. And I wrote it to that melody, and I'm telling you, it's lit. I just need somebody to sing it and put it to a guitar.
It's Elijah Allen is who it is. He's in the NCAA streams.
When I go through it, it's
Dude,
that
he can sing.
Inspiring.
The funniest thing is one night on an NCAA, I think it was an NCAA stream, Elijah was talking about his music. I was like, bro, send it to me. I'll play it. He's like, okay, yeah, here it is. So I played it on there. Got copyright struck for playing his song. And he felt guilty, so he sent me a bunch of super chats, but it was so funny. Look who showed up late. Wayne dropping in here at the last minute, dropping that thumbs up. We'll catch up with Wayne tomorrow or Tuesday night, one or the other. Hondo said, okay, here's Hondo. He's the one that murdered the rattlesnake. But Joey's gone, so there's nobody that's offended. Said it was fantastic. Zaxby's sauce. I don't know if there's anything that would make a rattlesnake taste better.
Oh, rattlesnake's good meat.
Uh-oh.
Hondo, you're
That's
an
a good
alpha
mate.
male. You're an alpha male, Hondo. They don't make them like you, like Green Berets. And by the way, appreciate your service, brother. But they don't make people like you.
Oh, Diablo, hush. I'm in my garage, dude.
I told, that's the thing. If you're going to be on this channel, there are going to be bits. Bob, you're in prison, and that's going to be the bit from now on, so you might as well get used to it.
Well, maybe I shouldn't wear orange. Then I definitely will not wear orange.
Yeah, no, you got to own it. Next week you need to show up to the fan call-in with a jumpsuit on and a number on it.
Boogie, you need an overlay for his frame of bars, a prison bar.
Yeah, it looks like there's one right there on the bottom corner. It looks like the prison bar.
Right down here. Yeah, there you
the
go.
guard's trying to shut the door. He's like, Bob, your time's up. Shut the door.
I'm holding my phone between my knees.
Oh my gosh. I bet you are, Bob. I bet you are. Noah for $2 says, hey, Boogie, been flying 8 hours, last second door fee. Appreciate that, Noah. We'll be right back here tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. for the X Factor. For Eric, for Bob, for Coach Rice, my name's Boogie Bentley. This is the Talkin VAWLS Network.
Go Vols.
Go
See you, everybody.
Vols.
That we call home, and it's night and I'm alone and I'm alive.